Ninh explains the rules of collegiate wrestling. Collegiate wrestling, otherwise known as college, Folkstyle, Scholastic, or NCAA Wrestling, is a form of wrestling that is very popular in the United States. Wrestling matches are contested between two people on a rubber mat that measures a maximum of 42 feet in diameter for college and 28 feet in diameter in high school. The start lines are 3 feet apart and have different coloured start lines for each wrestler. Each wrestler is tagged with a different coloured band around their ankles. The object of the game is to wrestle the opponent and win by either pin or by points. To win by pin, also known as winning by fall, you must get your opponent onto their back so that their shoulder blades touch the floor. If you successfully pin your opponent's shoulder blades to the floor, the referee will tap the mat and you will win the contest automatically. This is known as winning by fall or winning by pin. If neither wrestler can pin each other, you can score points to win the contest instead. But before I explain how to score, you must understand the positions of a wrestler. This is the neutral position. This is where both wrestlers are on their feet and facing each other. This is the defensive position, where one wrestler is on his hands and knees and generally on the bottom. This is the offensive position, where one wrestler is above with hands on the waist and forearm and generally on top. These two positions collectively is known as the referee's position. There are 5 main ways of scoring. If you manage to take your opponent down onto the mat with control over them, this is a takedown and is worth 2 points. Whilst in a defensive position, if you manage to get away from the wrestler or get yourself out into the neutral position, this is an escape and is worth 1 point. Whilst in a defensive position, if you manage to come from the bottom and take control of your opponent on the top, this is a reversal and this scores 2 points. Whilst in an offensive position, if you almost pin your opponent and are in a dominant position with control, the referee will start counting down. This is known as near fall. You get 2 points if you hold the wrestler in this position for 2 to 4 seconds. You will get more points for holding the opponent for longer, and this is denoted in the table on the screen. And if you do something wrong, the referee may award penalty points to your opponent. There are numerous ways this can happen, which are denoted here, but the most common penalty is stalling, where one wrestler repeatedly prevents the other from scoring by avoiding action or intentionally protecting the lead by moving out of bounds. A wrestling match is contested in 3 periods of 2 minutes each. If someone doesn't win by fall, the wrestler with a high score at the end of 3 periods wins. If the scores are tied, extra periods are played to determine the winner. That's the bare bones of collegiate wrestling, but there's a few other things that you'll need to know before watching or contesting a match. For example, start position. At the beginning of the first period, both wrestlers start in neutral position. At the beginning of the second period, one wrestler is given the choice to start in either offensive or defensive position, or to defer his choice until the third period. At the beginning of the third period, the other wrestler is given the same choice. Technical fall. If one wrestler accrues a 15-point advantage over their opponent, the referee will end the contest immediately and that wrestler will win by technical fall. Win by decision or major decision. If a wrestler scores 1 to 7 points more than their opponent at the end of 3 periods, this is known as winning by decision. If a wrestler scores 8 to 14 points more than their opponent at the end of 3 periods, this is known as winning by major decision. And as previously mentioned, winning by 15 points or more results in a win by technical fall. Win by default, forfeit or disqualification. If a wrestler cannot continue the match, the opponent will be awarded a win by default. If a wrestler fails to appear on the mat before the contest, the opponent will be awarded a win by forfeit. If a wrestler accrues too many penalties or is banned from competing further by the referee, the opponent will win by disqualification. Riding time. If a wrestler is controlling an opponent in a way that prevents an escape or reversal, a running clock will count how long he is in that position. This is known as riding time, and this happens with both wrestlers. At the end of the 3 periods, if one wrestler has a time advantage of at least 1 minute more than his opponent, he will be awarded a bonus point at the end of the third period. This could be the difference between winning or not. That's a lot to take in, but once you've watched wrestling for a while, the rules will become clear. If you found this video at all helpful, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. Follow me on Twitter also and share on Reddit, but in the meantime, enjoy collegiate wrestling.